Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 20th edition of Speak That Talks. As always, I am so excited to pause on a Thursday evening to welcome you all to another edition of an unfiltered, unscripted, and uncensored conversation. So we're about to begin in 30 seconds. So go ahead and tag some friends, tag some family members, share, because we are about to have a wonderful conversation. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Speak That Talks. I'm so excited, as always, to welcome everybody. My name is Tiara M. Tucker, and I'm the founder and CEO of Tiara PR Network, LLC, as well as Speak That Movement. And one of the babies of Speak That Movement is Speak That Talks. So for those of you who have been tuning in every Thursday, I want to say thank you. Thank you. I can't even thank you enough, because today makes 20 weeks of Speak That Talks. And for some of you, you may be like, okay, but for me, that means that I have sat down in the exact same seat on a Thursday evening for 20 consecutive weeks. And I don't think that I've ever sat down in the same spot for 20 weeks in a row on a Thursday evening in my adult life. But sometimes that's what life will have you do. And it has been nothing but amazing to connect with so many of you via this particular platform. So thank you for the people that have been tuning in every single week. And for those of you who have not been tuning in, and maybe this is your first one, I want to sincerely welcome you. So I want us to virtually talk and interact. Speak That Talks is a virtual opportunity for people all over the nation to come together. So to virtually talk, to virtually interact, I would like for you to go to the Speak That Movement page on Facebook or YouTube. So again, go to Speak That Movement on Facebook or YouTube, and you can truly participate in the live conversation. And what I mean by that, if you have any comments, if you want to share your city, if you want to share your name, or if you want to just ask any questions, that is where you can do it by going to the Speak That Movement page, and we will totally interact with you. So if you're out there, let us know. Tell us where you are representing from. Tell us any thoughts that you have, because we really want all of us to be a part of the virtual conversation that's going to take place today. So again, Facebook or YouTube, welcome. So as I said, this is the 20th week. So since May 7th, I have sat here and I have hosted over 20 guests. So I have sat here and we have talked about various hot topics that have impacted us, from COVID-19 to social injustices, to mental health, to going after your dreams, to walking in your purpose, to goal setting, to support, you name it. If it's a hot topic that will help business professionals or believers or people going after their dreams, then this is the platform where we talked about it. So to check out the previous ones, just go to those pages and you can see them. So I'm really excited about today's conversation, because today's conversation is a result of an event that took place in Dallas. So the past few days, or several days in Dallas, there has been an amazing memorial that was installed called Say Their Names. And you can go check it out. You can go to Say Their Names Memorial. And the Say Their Names Memorial was just an amazing tribute and honor to the Black lives that have, I would say, that were taken due to racism, social injustices, or police brutality. So I would love for you to check out that memorial. Kudos to the organizations that worked hard to bring that to life. Kudos to Klyde Warrren Park, where the memorial was installed for the past few couple of weeks, rather, and it actually went down today. So if you didn't get a chance to check it out, again, I would just encourage you to go to the website, type in the hashtag, say their names, and you'll see a lot of people who posted pictures and who posted videos. And I'll also be sharing some over the next few days and weeks. But what I wanted to do today, I wanted to bring some special guests of mine, some special ladies who were actually out at the event yesterday, because Speak That Movement hosted an empowerment event yesterday at the event. So at the memorial, there was another group called Next Generation Action Network. Shout out to Next Gen, as well as Dominique Alexander, the founder of that organization. Shout out to them for hosting the live entertainment and bringing in guest speakers and allowing me to share their platform yesterday as I went out there on behalf of Speak That Movement to be a guest speaker and also to do some community outreach. So I say all that to say, it is time to talk about the experience. So we are going to talk about the Speak That Movement outing. We're going to talk about the Say Their Names Memorial in Dallas. And we're also going to talk about what it meant to us and answer any questions that you may have. So before I go there, I have to give a quick shout out. It looks like we have someone watching from Maryland. Shout out to our special guest from Maryland. Shout out to Janice Tucker Farrell watching from Texas, and that's my mom. So thank you for always tuning in every single week. And everybody else out there, let us know where you are, and we will shout you out. So I am ready to bring up the very first guest for today. So today's one of the guests that I want to bring up, I have to first of all thank her and shout her out, because when it was time to think about this, I knew I wanted to bring people together. I knew I wanted to do something special at this memorial, just so that people can pause and reflect. So she was one of the people who I talked to. She was a thought partner. And so she came through and she was a volunteer. So we were out there together. And I am going to bring up my sister, Miss Colleen Matthews. How are you?
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone.
Yes, everybody give Miss Colleen some special pumps, some special hearts. So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed and highly favored, Tiara. Thank you for asking.
Good. And that's a beautiful feeling. So I wanted to bring you up first because I wanted to publicly thank you for just all of your support yesterday, for showing up and being there and actually interacting and engaging with the people who stopped by the Speak That Movement booth, for just being just an amazing supporter. So I can't say thank you enough, because I know how important it is when people are going after their dreams and have this idea. It means a lot when people say, you know what, I got your back. So I want to thank you for that publicly.
Oh, thank you. You are too kind. And Tiara, let me just say, you are so special. The
Oh,
way you just moved the crowd, I mean, there's something about you, and I believe in you, and I am here to support you all the way through. So thank you for allowing me to help you.
oh, thank you. I humbly appreciate that. So I want to ask you, what was your experience like? What was the Say Their Names memorial and the Say Their Names experience like for you?
Such a great question, and so many things come to mind, to heart, to the emotions that came over me as we were engaging in that experience. And I think intense is not even the right word to use for it. It, it was so, it was like you were grieving all over again. grieving for people that you hadn't even known that had, been through an experience of violence or, social injustice. And so it just made me feel like the time is now.
Mm.
We all can relate in some way or another to those individuals that were highlighted. Um, One thing I think that is very special about that memorial is the fact that it was a chance for the community to come together and speak about the different things that are happening here in Dallas, particularly the injustices, the lack of resources that we need to get in check. We need to get in line, and we need to make change happen. And
Yeah.
so, as I think about it, and as I think about some of the emotions that I was feeling, it was a little bit of grief. It was a little bit of anger, um, a little bit of joy too, to see everybody come out together as well, and motivation. And I felt a call to action, especially during your speech, Tiara. That call to action, you gave me goosebumps. I was like, let's get it going. So it was just passionate. It was beautiful. It was everything that I could imagine it to be.
Awesome. Thank you for that reflection. And for those of you who were not out there, or who, maybe you're still trying to figure out what was it, say their names, memorial. So basically, Klyde Warrren Park, it was a display of just really beautiful, I'll say, pillars. And on the four sides of the pillars, there was a picture. And it was a picture of someone that was basically murdered due to, again, racism, social injustices, or police brutality. And underneath their picture, it was their name. So, and then also there were flowers. So there were flowers there, and people were also bringing flowers, which we'll talk about a little later. But people, just yesterday in particular, there were hundreds, right? Hundreds of people who were lined up in solidarity and unity at the park to walk and experience the memorial. And so, what did you think, Colleen, when you saw the different pictures and the names? Like, some names you knew, I'm sure some names you didn't. How did you feel about that? Just seeing so many pictures and so many names, knowing that is not even close to the amount of people that have truly been murdered or lost their lives.
That's a great question, and it's hard to unpack. The different emotions that were coming over me in that moment. One thing that does come to mind is that I felt uninformed a little bit. I felt like there were so many stories that I had no idea existed. And it compelled me to, I think part of what your purpose was in that reflection is to find those names that one didn't know about, and research or learn more about them. And so I felt very compelled to do that. And some of the stories that I came across were hard to swallow, hard to believe that was their story. And it made me feel like, if the time wasn't now, I don't know when the time is, but the time is now. The time is right at this moment. And some of me really thought through sort of feeling proud that we have so many different people taking action in the streets, in policy, in public policy, in one thing, in the voting space, right? We need so many people to register to vote because we've got to change things. And one thing I think is something that it is definitely going to sit with me here and throughout is just and I think we'll probably talk about this a little later, is just the flowers,
Yeah.
and giving flowers to people while they're here.
That's powerful.
Because, and I think this is kind of a little bit of a movement right now, and really acknowledging people for what they're doing and the differences that they're making in the moment, no matter how big or how small that difference is. That's how people continue to stay motivated and continue to do the impactful things. Like I said, big or small, it's an impact. And so it really made me feel like I need to make sure I'm giving out these flowers while they can receive them.
Yes, no, that's beautiful, and I want to thank you because you brought the flowers on behalf of Speak That Movement, and we were able to pass out, well, actually to place the flowers on some of the monuments, in particular those representing the women. So we'll talk about that a little later, but thank you for that, and that was very special. So Tiara out there, Tiara Daniel, who was there, and also out there representing Next Generation Action Network as well as Speak That Movement. She said it was a very moving memorial. So thank you, Miss Tiara, and thank you for all that you do as well. Amen, amen. Well, I want to thank you, my sister. We're going to pull you up a little later, but I just want to thank you for sharing your reflection and just for being there. Like, your voice mattered yesterday, your presence mattered, and your participation mattered. So thank you so much. And again, shout out to Miss Colleen Matthews, and we'll bring you back up in a moment. So thank you.
That's good. Thank you.
All right. So just wanted to definitely bring Colleen up because she was there, and we actually participated in everything together yesterday, and it was very moving. And we'll talk a little bit more about our experiences when we bring up some of the other guests together. But right now, I want to bring up another guest for today's Speak That Talks. She also was an attendee yesterday and participated in the Say Their Names Memorial at Klyde Warrren Park. And again, this is a traveling memorial. It has been at various locations, and it will continue to travel. It was actually installed by Emily Clark Events, as well as Bow and Arrows. I want to get it right, Bows and Arrows. So they were the ones that installed the memorial here in Dallas. And again, look it up, Google it, because they will be traveling, and there may be other cities who will have something similar installed by other organizations. But I just want to especially acknowledge the people who installed the memorial here at Klyde Warrren Park. So thank you all. So now I want to bring up the second guest today, who I can't wait to tell our backstory and how we met. But the second guest today for Speak That Talks is Miss Shena Lee.
Hi. Hi. How everybody?
Yes, everybody give Shena some virtual love.
Some hearts.
Yes, some hearts. Give her some hearts. So I have to first of all, let me acknowledge your shirt. We're going to acknowledge all the shirts later. So Colleen's shirt, if you saw it, it said, nah, Rosa Parks, nah. So Shena's shirt says, Black Futures Matter. Yes, I love it. So I'm going to shout out my shirt because my shirt is kind of what connected you and I. So my shirt, I'm just going to show you real quick. Black Lives Matter. So my shirt, I got this shirt when I attended the March on Washington 2020 a couple of weeks ago. So if you all want to see the recap of that event, just go to Speak That Movement and check out the previous video for that. But the reason why I bring that up is when we had the recap show for that, Shena was tuning in as a guest, a listener. And you were engaged, you were active, you're like, I was there. You were like, you got the award for like most interactive virtual attendance. So I have to give you a prop for that.
Thank you.
There, I feel like we connected, and you started following Speak That Movement. You came out yesterday to just to be present at the memorial. Thank you. Loving the shirts, Marilyn. But you came out. So I want to ask you, What did the experience mean to you? What did the Say Their Names experience yesterday mean to you?
Well, being that I am new to Texas, I've been here about 4 to 5 years. I'm from the South. It meant a lot. Just like when I was in DC, when the reporter asked me there, I said I was speechless. So I took the time when I listened to your first guest to write down just some words that I felt to describe it. So I put heaviness, I put grief, I put sadness, but I also put beauty. I put the beauty because I felt the stand of unitedness by standing in that line. When I first came to the memorial, I sat and just looked around and just watched the beauty of seeing my Black brothers and sisters sitting here and absorbing, hearing information in work clothes. So I know they just got off of work to come out here, seeing that line stretch so long where I couldn't even see the end, and listening to the speakers empower us, to educate us. And then joining in the line, I actually was at the end of the line, and by the time I turned around, it started another ending again. So just seeing those things, that was powerful too. So it didn't leave me with so much sadness, but it did bring me that part of beauty with it. So I put heaviness, grief, sadness, beauty, but unitedness as well, to see all of that. It was just a very moving experience. And the things you said, where how could this relate to us, even if it's not our hashtag, our name? I saw my nephew's name. I saw my last name. So it could be me. Doesn't matter if you have a degree, if you do everything right. Both and John did everything right, like they say in Dallas. It could be you. So seeing those things, it just let me know the time to action is now. We don't have time to wait for tomorrow or yesterday. We have to do things today, right now. And being in DC is really what lit the fire for me to make sure putting my words to action. So
That's awesome. And I agree with everything that you said. And I think the beautiful thing about that is we were both in DC at the same time, didn't know each other, found out we had a mutual friend, Dr. Pamela Grayson, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago talking about her experience. And then we met officially yesterday, and now you are here on Speak That Talk. So again, thank you so much. And
thank you.
You did have a dual experience of a lifetime, right? I mean, you were in DC when you saw thousands upon thousands of people that united in solidarity to say, hey, Black lives matter.
Exactly.
We matter. And then to turn around a week later and to be in your own city of Dallas, and to hundreds upon hundreds of people stand together
and say we matter. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the time is now. I feel like it's a wake up call to action, not just to talk about it at this point. We have to have some way we're as a chessboard player playing the piece. No matter if we are an observer, but go back, like you said, to work and educate. No matter if we try to open a business, to educate, whatever our role is, try to find that role that we play on that chessboard and be ready to play. Be ready to play our part.
Yeah. So I want to acknowledge you had an amazing accomplishment this week. So you are now the founder, CEO of Superstar Tutoring. So first of all, everybody, please give her a round of applause for this major venture. So I want you to talk a little bit about Superstar Tutoring and what it is, what it will be, and what this experience, how this experience will impact even that dream of yours.
Well, I have been in teaching for over 20 years, and I went in for elementary and special education, decided to stay in special education because I saw the need in brown kids that were getting placed sometimes not right. So I decided I need to be a voice, an advocate. So I stayed in that area. When I moved from North Carolina to Philadelphia and now to Texas, I chose to stay a special education educator just because I felt like we needed to have an advocate. We needed to have a voice, someone who was educated and knew the laws and things to say when we were in the school building. Being here in Texas, I knew it was my time for action. I knew it was my time for change, and just God gave me that voice. It's time to do something now. The ideas of being a superstar teacher has always been my thing, but I knew now it's time to turn it into something bigger, give back to my community, be a community wraparound service. So that's how the name came up, Superstar Tutoring, because I see all my learners are superstars in the making. And so that's how I came up with it. I feel like we're all stars. You dream big. You can't land anywhere but the stars. So that's part of what the name came about. But basically, I just want to outreach to anybody in my community who needs help, who needs either a consultation about how education is going in the classroom, if they need to be advised of just their laws, their rights they have for their child, if they need tutoring. But a lot of times, I feel like a lot of it is just education, being educated and knowing what's going on behind the scenes. And I want to be able to, really open all those doors that have been closed for so many people, because everybody doesn't go to school for teaching or education. So I want to be that person to be able to bridge that in my community.
Wow. Kudos.
Thank you.
Because what I'm hearing, and I'm seeing passion, I'm seeing a brave, courageous, educated woman that is saying, I am going to be the voice. I am going to create the platform that will propel my young brothers and sisters.
Change agents. Yes, they are change agents. Yes.
That's it. And I have to acknowledge your beautiful background
that I just put up in like 2.5 seconds.
You know, let me show it again. Let's show it one more time.
There you go.
So super star tutoring.
Yes.
To make a difference in not only the DFW community, but around the nation and the world. I will speak that into the atmosphere for you.
Yes, speak that. Yes.
That's right. And you have some shout outs out here as well. So again, I want to thank you. Comment here, very true. Education is the first step. And you definitely have some love out there. And I want to just acknowledge this one that I had up a second, but go Shena, very inspiring. And from Miss Angelita Thomas, shout out to Miss Angelita. She was a speaker on a Speak That Talks a few weeks ago. So she wants to say thank you for staying in the field. And she touches and agrees that we will speak life over your business and all of the lives that you will touch.
Thank you.
Speak that. Look at how God is just giving you every single thing you need to say that you did exactly what he needed you to do. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I thank you for this. I'm going to pull you back up in a few moments, but right now I'm going to bring up our third and final guest for today. So again, thank you, Miss Shena. See you in a few moments. All right, guys. I hope you are really enjoying the reflections. Again, we're reflecting on the Say Their Names Memorial. And just in general, we're going to reflect and talk about, the social injustices. And we're going to go beyond what has happened around the nation over the years. But we're going to take it a step further. And we're going to dig deeper. And we're going to talk about how we feel. But not only how we feel, but what can we do? What's the next step? So right now, I am excited to bring up another guest. This is the third and final guest today. And her name is Miss Jourdyn Moore. So everybody give me a virtual round of applause for Miss Jourdyn Moore.
Having me. I'm so excited to be here, especially on this episode 20. Thank you so much for having me. Seriously. Respect everything you're doing.
Well, thank you so much. Everybody, again, welcome Miss Jourdyn Moore. And again, shout out to you for being on the 20th episode. So I don't know, 2020, 20 vision, double. I don't know. 2020. John Lewis, we might get in some trouble, some good trouble, some necessary trouble in 2020 now that we have met and connected. So I had the opportunity, everybody, to meet Miss Jourdyn yesterday. So I'm really excited about that because one of the goals of the Speak That movement portion yesterday, the outing was to connect and to reflect. So not only us connecting as a community organization in the community, but also for people to connect amongst each other. So it was a pleasure running into Miss Jourdyn, and actually I'll bring Colleen up a little later, but Colleen and I were together at the very end, and we were actually putting flowers on some of the monuments, and we saw you, and you were out there with your good friend, another beautiful woman who could not join us today. And we just started talking. So you tell us more about who is Jourdyn, and then we're going to talk a little bit about your organization.
Sure. Well, first of all, I don't think it was by chance that we met at all. And I'm so glad that our paths met and we came across each other. So that aside, everything that y'all did that night was so powerful. I caught just the end of you speaking, and your words just impacted me personally. And I could tell that they touched everybody who was there. So thank you so much for that. But my name is Jourdyn Moore, and I'm the founder of Photos for Equality. And before COVID, actually, I was an event planner. I did corporate events. And after everything happened with COVID, I decided that I was going to repurpose what I was doing. And I was pulled and called to start Photos for Equality. And it actually started back in May and June. And that was amidst, we had just seen the viral video of George Floyd's death on screen. And we had also seen the video of Ahmaud Arbery and being hunted down. And, you know, I was just on Facebook and on Instagram, and I was just scrolling on my feed, and I felt like I had friends and I had family and I had mentors and people, pastors, even like people I looked up to and respected in my personal social circles that weren't saying anything. And, you know, it triggered me and it hurt me on a personal level, to be honest. And, you know, I understand people are going through their lives, but they were posting about their food. They were posting about, you know, what they had for breakfast, what their workout routines were. And, you know, I know people are living their lives, so not to put down, you know, what they had going on. But I was just like, you know, are people do they not know what to say? Or it just hurt me. And I felt like I wasn't the only person of color who was experiencing this. I had been talking to other friends and people around me who were just saying, you know, why they felt like they were alone. They felt like a lot of people weren't relating to them. And so I connected with one of my friends who's a photographer named Michael Lark, who's with Dallas Sports Fanatic. And I just talked to him and I said, hey, like, what can we do to get this information seen? It needs to be on Facebook. It needs to be on Instagram, like, especially during COVID when we can't talk to each other the way we used to. How do we talk to each other now? How do millennials talk to each other? You know, like, what's going on? So we put our heads together and we came up with different events in the community, and we had a community photo shoot. And our whole goal is just to get the content to the people so that they're using their own social circles, using their own platforms to talk about what's going on in this movement right now. So.
Wow. Powerful. And I have to say kudos and congratulations to you for being a young person who didn't decide to just let this opportunity fade away. You saw a gap, you saw an opportunity, and you took a step of faith and you ran with it. And I just have to commend you for that. And I know that the best is yet to come for you because I can see the passion. I can hear the passion when you talk about it. Yes.
So yesterday, whenever we met each other, I was actually interviewing people through the different aisles who were at the memorial. And so I'm so glad that we ran into each other and I got to interview you, and check that out on our Instagram and on photosforequality.org. But got to interview you and meet Colleen and a few other people as well. So it was really powerful.
Yes. So the pleasure went both ways. So tell people, in case they want to look right now, where can they go on Instagram right now to check out the photos, to check out videos? I also saw that you posted our interview out there. So where can they go?
Yeah, so please check us out on Instagram at Photos for Equality. We're also on Facebook and YouTube, and the website is photosforequality.org. So we'll have upcoming volunteer opportunities. We're always looking for new photographers and bloggers. We're just a network of people who go out to different events. And then we also host our own events because, as I said before, I was an event planner, so that's my gift and my talent, but I know that that's not everyone's gift. So bring what you have, bring your strength, bring it to us, and we'll collaborate, we'll figure out a way to take it to the next level and be able to promote racial equality, period. So thank you.
I love that. And I also love what you just said, is that it doesn't matter what your gift is. It doesn't matter what your skill is. If you just have a desire that you want to help be a part of the change, there's room for everybody, right? There's room for everybody.
And, you know, that was one thing, too, that really stood out for me as like seeing Emily Clark events, the people who put it together, you know, like they became allies, you know, like they put this whole thing together, just used what they're good at, used their gift, used their talent, used their craft, and used it for good, and used it to amplify Black voices, because we're hurting right now. Our community's hurting. So it was really powerful, and I was able to interview a lot of different people and figure out their perspectives. And there were people of all different kind of backgrounds and ethnicities, political affiliations, who came out to this. And so I got to pick their brain a little bit and find out, like, everything that you're talking about, like reflecting back on it, like how did you feel about it, and what can you do about it at this point? So it was, overall, the whole thing was very impactful, very powerful, and I was happy to play just a small part in that. So
yeah, you played a big part. You know why you played a big part? Because you were present, you showed up, and not only did you show up, but you found a way to utilize your passion, and you were able to talk to people. You were able to listen to people, and you were able to take what you heard and share it with the people who were unable to attend. So that's actually pretty significant.
yeah, and it's unfortunate that it's over so soon. Today was the last day, but we were able to get some photos, so that's awesome.
Yes. So tell me, Jourdyn, and I'm going to call you a young person because you're younger than me, okay? So as a young person, what did the Say Their Names memorial experience mean to you? What did you feel? What was going through your mind?
Well, to be honest, at first it was eerie. It was like an overwhelming grief, walking through the aisles, seeing the different columns, and there was over 200 names there. And that kind of alone just blew my mind, because, you know, you hear about George, you hear about Ahmaud, you hear about Breonna Taylor, Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, like all these different names. But there were so many names there that I had never heard, to be completely honest, that, you know, didn't get a hashtag, aren't trending. And also seeing people so young, just really, you know, young, it took a lot out of me, to be honest. And it also was relatable, because you see people who you're like, that could be my cousin, that could be my brother, that could be my uncle, whoever. So it just kind of put things in perspective. It was, as one of the guys that I interviewed that night, he said it was very humanizing. And I felt like that word just could sum up my whole experience. It was very humbling. I also had a little bit of pride, because I was proud of my city. I was proud of Dallas. I was proud of Klyde Warrren Park, and that they were willing to display something like this, because you see things in other places that are getting vandalized right now that people do not agree with. And this was a way to peacefully and artistically express, you know, how they wanted to make a difference. And so I was proud. I was proud of Dallas, but it was a lot of emotions. It was empowering seeing your team there, and you know, all the different performers there and the guest speakers there. It was empowering to see. It was motivating. It made me want to do more in the community. So it was a lot of different emotions, a lot going on in my head.
Yeah. And I think that's very accurately stated. And a lot of people will agree with what you just described. So many emotions, right? I agree. There was pride, like, wow, we came together. Again, shout out to Klyde Warrren Park. And I have to give them a special shout out because they one of the managers personally called me when he knew I was having something out there. He wanted to let me know, hey, FYI, the monument is going down sooner than we thought. And I respect the park for that and for being so accommodating.
Sure.
And again, shout out again to Next Generation Action Network and all the folks a part of that organization who pulled together, everything, yesterday as well. And again, as we mentioned earlier, shout out to Emily Clark Events and Bows and Arrows and everybody that was a financial sponsor of the actual monument. And so I'm going to pull the other ladies back up. But before I do, I just want to ask you, being a photographer or having an organization that focuses on photography, what did it personally mean to you just to see this beautiful display of photos?
I mean, whenever you look at photos or a mural, because we also work with different mural artists like Ponchavelli, he's actually an Emmy award-winning artist, is one of my now friends. I can call him a friend, but we work with different artists. We've got photographers, we've got dancers, singers, like we've done different things with like violin players, performing for Elijah McClain, like different, it's more the arts. And the power with the arts, the power with photography is it's open to interpretation. People can receive different things from a photo. They can receive different things from a mural, and it speaks louder than words at times. And I think that was what was so powerful, is going through, seeing all these pictures. For me, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like, this guy could be like my uncle, or this guy could be like, a family member, but somebody else looking at it, it could mean something completely different to them. They could see it differently. And, it was interesting too, because some people brought their own photos and actually put them on the ground throughout the columns of people who we still didn't know, that they felt deserved recognition or attention. So it's just those photos alone were very powerful. The arts are very powerful, and it's all open to interpretation. So.
Yeah. Very, very good perspective. I really appreciate that. And I totally agree. In particular, being a Black business professional woman, I found that I was drawn to the women, right?
Sure.
Obviously, I was drawn to everybody, but I was drawn to the women that I saw with like a business suit on, or there was at least one, maybe two, but a young lady that had on her cap and gown from her graduation. Sandra Bland was out there. We know Sandra Bland's name, and my heart goes out to Sandra because I think about, she and I were both from Illinois. We both live in Texas. We both came to Texas because of our careers, but there were so many other Sandra Blands out there, right?
Sure.
And, you mentioned that there were approximately 200 photos and names, and there are so many more.
So many that people just brought with them. So it was crazy. But I completely relate. Like, I saw some that were that spoke out to me that were in military attire. And I have a lot of, like, my brother serves, my mom served. And, it's just like they could make the ultimate sacrifice for their country. And yet, they still fall victim to racism, but they still love our country so much that they could give, their lives for it, or be a part of the military. So there's just so many different things in a photo that stick out to some person that, would translate differently to another person. So overall, I think they did a great job, an outstanding, phenomenal job of starting the conversations and just being a conversation starter for all ages, really.
Well said, Miss Jourdyn Moore. So I want to thank you, Jourdyn. And again, we're going to shout out your information again later, but just give people your Instagram right now if they want to check out some of the pictures and videos that you have.
Yes. Photos for Equality. Check it out.
Check it out. All right, and I hope you saw the love. A lot of love coming in the comments for you. So thank you to everybody out there that's tuning in virtually, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much. If we don't get to all of your comments, we will. I know I will. I will personally look at every single comment. So thank you all so much. And feel free to tag some people, invite some people, because right now I'm about to bring everybody back on together, and we're going to have a special closeout. So I don't want you to miss this. So I'm now going to bring back up Miss Colleen and Miss Shena. And I'm going to have everybody on mute. And we are going to just come together as 4 beautiful, amazing, talented Black sisters. And we have to acknowledge one more t-shirt. So we're going to give another shout out. I'm going to show Jourdyn's t-shirt because we did not acknowledge your shirt yet.
This is my shirt here. United We Stand. It's multiple skin tone colors here. And again, it's just all about unity for me. All about diversity, respecting people and their individual cultures, and but yet including them and coming back to what makes America a melting pot. So that's what this whole shirt is about. You can buy it at photosforequality.org to help sponsor us for future events. So come check it out.
Nice little plug there. So check it out. Yes, everybody, get you a shirt. Support this young, beautiful sister who is going after her dreams. That's what it's about. Speak that movement, speaking it into existence, and support. So thank you for that. All right. So now I want us just to, as we close out, before we get into the Speak That Speed round, I just want all of us just to give a huge shout out to everybody out there. We have ladies representing different parts of this country. So I just want us to just give a big heart, as Shena had us do earlier. So to all of the women out there, all of the men out there, we just want to let you know that we stand united with all of you. So thank you all for tuning in today. So everybody shared their perspective on what the experience meant to them. I heard a lot of similar words being used. I heard a lot of amazing perspectives. And that is one thing that we wanted to do yesterday, at least for the Speak That Movement portion. We wanted people to just take the time to reflect, because oftentimes, especially with our community, we treat mental health as if it's so taboo. But if we don't take the time to really think about what we're feeling and understand that it's okay to have different emotions, it's okay to have different emotions, but it's not okay not to know how to handle them and not to know what to do when they get out of hand, if that makes sense. So I just appreciate you all for openly sharing your feelings. And anybody out there, if you're dealing with mental health or mental stress issues, I just want to encourage you to, seek help. It's not about it being taboo. It's about your life, because your life matters. And that means your mental life matters as well. So if Speak That Movement can help you in any way, please reach out. www.tiaraprnetwork.com. So right now, ladies, we are going to do my very favorite part of all of the Speak That talks, and that is the Speak That Speed round. So for those of you who have never tuned into a Speak That talks, this is the portion of the show where we close it out in a very empowering way. This is our opportunity to speak life to all of you out there listening. So I want us to add a unique twist. And I know I'm about to throw this out at you ladies, but I think you can handle it, right? So this is a unique twist to the Speak That Movement 4 pillars, which are dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it. So as you reflect on your experience at the Say Their Names Memorial, I want you to just add whatever thoughts you may have regarding your experience as you speak life to people with each pillar. So again, I'm going to share each pillar of the Speak That movement, which is dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it. And in your own words, I want to hear each of you ladies share what dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it means to you as you reflect on yesterday. You following me? All right. So we're gonna go to speak that speed round. I want a drum roll. Give us a virtual drum roll. I know this has been a somewhat somber conversation, but this is going to empower you. This is the next step. Okay. So I am going to start. You all tell me out there, virtual world, who do you want to start? Who do you want to hear first? Discuss the first pillar of Speak That movement. I need one person out there to give me a name of who's going to start the conversation first. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. All right, they're typing too slow, so I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision. So you know what? I'm going to start with you, Shena, and this is probably different. Oh, actually, that too just popped up.
Well, I have my note card, my cheat sheet here. So.
And actually, you have two people that have nominated too.
With two E's, so great.
Oh my God. Yes. So let's start with you. Give us your definition of what Speak That movement pillar number 1, dream it, means to you.
Well, I would say dream big and dream for the stars.
That's good. Because you have some superstars out there that need to dream big.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to go to, and I want to acknowledge what Shena is holding. If you can put it to the screen a little bigger, and I'm just going to show it real quick. I want everybody to see this. Thank you for that. And the reason why I want to show that is we wanted, Speak That movement, we wanted people to really, really dig deep into their experiences yesterday. So that was one of the gifts that we provided people where they could actually reflect. So thank you for sharing that and showing that. So, all right, we're going to go to you, Miss Colleen. Share with us, what does dream it mean to you?
I think what dream it means to me is, what do you want to bring into fruition? What's your purpose? What's your vision? And when I think about dream it, I think about literally dream it, eat it, breathe it, sleep it, bring it, dream it.
I love it. Miss Jourdyn.
Dream it. First thing that comes to mind, no limits, no glass ceiling. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. First thing.
Nicely put. All right, we're going to go in the same order. Speak That movement pillar number 2. What does believe it mean? And we're going to start with you, Miss Shena.
Believe it is putting your mind to reality, to the dreams that we dream big from. So believing in your dreams, believing they can happen, believing that they can become a reality, and believing there is no glass ceilings. There are no ceilings for us to ever hit. We can do whatever we want to do.
Nice. Colleen, believe it.
Nicely said, Shena. I would say for me, it goes back to the dream it piece, right? So the first thing that you want to do is think about, well, what is your purpose? What is your vision? And I know a lot of people think that purpose is something that they strive to find. You know, they think that it's ordained in their life, you know, like my purpose is this, but really you create your own purpose and you have multiple purposes in life and you bring it into fruition. And so when I think about believe it, you got to believe that that's your purpose, that that's your mission, and then you got to go get it. So believing in it is that step though with that.
Yeah. Nicely put. Miss Jourdyn.
That was really powerful, Colleen. So for me, believe it, I would have to say is that your faith needs to be bigger than your fear. For me personally, I'm a Christian, and that's how I find my connection. I believe that the doors are going to open for me, and those are the right doors. But that's just me. But your faith has to be stronger than your doubts. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you're doing, and that's what believe it would mean to me.
Beautiful. Speak that movement pillar number 3. We discussed dream it. We discussed believe it. So what does speak it mean to you? Shena?
I would say it means to say it, believe it, and put your actions to work.
I love that.
Yes.
I would say for me, speak it goes to, all of these are connected essentially. But for me, the speak it piece of it is more closely related to the law of attraction, right? So if you want something, if you want to bring something into reality, you have to speak it into existence. You have to constantly talk about it, constantly work at it, and constantly speak it into existence.
Beautiful.
Yes, I would say building off of that your words have power, and they have a lot more power than a lot of people think. What you say, you got to manifest it. Everything's always working out for me. Like, what are you saying out loud? What do you say? What are you listening to? But also, it's just what you believe, and you're putting it out into the world. You're speaking it out into existence. So all connected. Also, I agree.
Yes, yes. All right. You ladies are rock stars. The 4th and certainly not last pillar of Speak That Movement. Dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it.
Being here tonight is me walking it. I had a dream that I could meet you, talk about my dreams, putting my dreams to believing it, coming home last night, waking up this morning, speaking it into existence, filing for my LLC this morning, believing, walking in it, putting up my virtual reality background because I know they're going to come. So walking it out today, September the 17th, 2020. We're here. We're walking it out.
Wow. I just got a chill hearing you say that. Like, if that is not a real-time example of somebody that dreamed it, believed it, spoke it into existence, and is now walking it. So
that's God.
The commentary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Colleen.
So for me, the walk it part is just like we just said, is to put it into action. This is the action part of it, right? You dreamed it, you believed you could do it, you spoke it forward, and now you're walking it. Now you are really diving in and really getting it going. And and that walk is going to look different for different people, but it's about constantly putting the action to the word. So that is walking it and continuing to walk it and reframing that walk too. Because as you go along, you're going to notice that there's going to be some things that are going to throw you off, but continue to walk, continue to believe, continue to dream, continue to bring it forward.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, after we just talked about your words having power, it's also, your actions do speak louder than your words. And it's like, okay, so we talked about it. Now what? Which, like I was saying before, everybody has their own strength. Everybody has their own talent, their own gift. Like, how are you going to use that to make a difference and make an impact in your community?
Beautiful. Well, there you have it. Speak That Talks. Miss Shena, Colleen, and Jourdyn, blessing the Speak That Talks platform So as we close out, I want to give you all the opportunity to offer any final words to the audience, and also let people know how can they continue to support you, to connect with you, because that is what this is all about, man, the support. So I'll let you all decide who's going to go first. So you all tell me, who do you want to go first? Oh.
I mean, I can take it away since I'm not on mute.
I think that, those fingers that were going in different directions, they were kind of pointing at you. So.
Oh, okay. I was like, it looks like I'm the one who's not on mute. So, again, I'm with Photos for Equality, and we're just very passionate about celebrating diversity, inclusion, and giving people their own platforms and social circles to speak about the things that matter. Check us out on photosforequality.org. Like, follow, subscribe, buy a t-shirt. That's how we raise money to do a lot of our events. So check out all of our different designs. And also, we're just really passionate about a Martin Luther King quote. And it goes, "Our lives begin to end the moment we are silent about the things that matter." So that's one of the guiding principles of Photos for Equality. So if you are looking for a way to make a difference, but you're not really sure how, send us an email. If you have a talent, a craft, a gift, if you own a business, if you own a venue, whatever it is, whatever you have going for you and you want to use it to make a difference in the community, reach out to us, because we're always looking to collaborate, and we're always needing help for different volunteer opportunities. So thank you so much for having me. Again, photosforequality.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jourdyn, and thank you for all that you're doing. And I'm going to have all of the ladies tell you thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Jourdyn, I'll be in touch. Take care and bless you, sister. All right, I'm going to let you all have the point war. Who's next?
I'll go next, because I think, Shena, you have such a beautiful and powerful message, and what you're doing is significant. And it kind of segues into my call to action, which is going to be, one thing that we heard at the memorial event is, do something, just don't do nothing. Right. So find your niche, find anything to get involved, to speak things into existence, to advocate for change, but just don't do anything. Vote, get out there and make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure that you are just really paying attention to what's going on in the world, and do what you can. Do what you can. I can't stress that enough. Just don't do nothing.
Beautiful. All right, listen, you got to show Colleen some love, because he showed you love. All right. Well, my sister, Colleen, thank you so much. Again, I have to say thank you so much for being by my side yesterday, and not just by my side, but by the community side yesterday. And thank you for bringing the flowers and just placing those flowers on the women yesterday. It means a lot. And you know what? We're going to do more. We're going to give more women their flowers while they're living.
Absolutely. And one more thing before I head out, I wanted to just give a quick quote by Amy Anzalone, who, is a prominent writer, but it's speaking to the flower piece of it. And so flowers, they really do have a spiritual significance, and have always been used to symbolize the life cycle from birth through death. They represent not only love and sympathy, but also eternity and immortality. A human's life is symbolized by the fragility of flower, where proper conditions are necessary in order for them to grow and blossom. And I thought that was just a perfect quote, given the circumstances of what we were doing yesterday. And so, just give your flowers while people are here to receive them. And then there's also a blog called Black Girl Tragic, which kind of details a lot of stories of different women who have unfortunately been victims to all types of brutality, police brutality, also just violence in general. And so it's a great blog. And with that, Tiara, thank you so much for everything you're doing. You are a shining star, and I'm with my whole heart wishing so many blessings for you. And I thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for that. And thank you for sharing the information about the flowers. And I see your flower in your background to your left and to your right. So thank you for that. And we'll definitely be in touch.
Okay. You guys take care.
Thank you. All right. Well, it sounds like it's you and I. So any final words for the audience, and how can they support you in your new endeavor?
Well, I want to leave a quote, since everybody left a quote. John Lewis has touched me in watching everything that he fought for. And his quote said, "Freedom is not a state, it's an act." And so I want you to challenge yourself. If you value your freedom, find a way to be a piece on that chessboard and find a way to make sure our freedom is not taken for granted. Make a way that our social justice has not been for nothing that they did all these years. Make sure we're doing something. And so with that being said, going forth, Superstar Tutoring, LLC, has officially been birthed September 17th, 2020 today. And I'm looking for God to bless me for bigger and better beyond. You can find me on Facebook, Superstar Tutoring, and I'm also on Instagram as well. So I'll look forward to anybody who wants to talk about education, any questions. So I'm here.
Sweet. So again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm really just in awe that what are the chances? Like, God is so amazing. Like, this is almost like your kind of semi-official announcement. So I need everybody, this is going to be a party right now. We're going to have like a 3-second party. So I need everybody in their head to play like a Beyonce song, or like, you know what, Cool in the Gang, Celebrate Good Times, because we're about to, in our heads, have a celebration party for the announcement of the new Superstar Tutoring organization. So thank you. Thank you for all that you are already doing and what you are about to do for the youth in the community.
And thank you for having this wonderful platform, Tiara. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you got some shout outs. Yay. You got some folks that are proud of you. So good for you. All right, my sister, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't have any more that I want to say other than thank you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really just wanted to, again, I wanted to take the time to bring in some people. I wanted us to reflect. And I know you may have noticed, well, why were there only women today? Well, that was intentional. I did have some men on a couple of weeks ago. Make sure you check out the show as we reflected on the historical March on Washington. But I really just wanted to talk to the women, talk with the women, shall I say, because I believe that as Black women, sometimes we're silenced a lot, right? And I want to just encourage all of the women out there to continue to use your voice. I want to say that I'm so proud of all of the Black women out there that are doing their thing. As I stated yesterday in a speech, and I will be posting that soon, but I just stated that it's time for us as women to come together. You know, we can say the names of the people that we don't know, and I honor that. So please do not take that negatively. But my call to action is that as Black women, we start saying the names of women that we do know. We start saying the names of women that are doing their thing, going after their dreams against all odds. Say the names of those single mothers out there. Say the names of the educators that are taking care of our youth and our babies. Say the names of the people in your community, at your church, within your organizations that are doing whatever it is. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be big. But guess what? We are powerful. And when we support each other and when we can say our names to each other with a smile on our face, not hate, not envy, not jealousy, but proud. We can't expect other people to love us and support us if we can't do it for ourselves. So I'm just going to leave it right there. And again, thank you all so much. Thank you for tuning in to the 20th edition of Speak That Talks. I promise myself, I promise God, and I promise all of you, I will keep them going as long as people are listening and as long as people are willing to share their voice. So if you are ever interested in being a part of Speak That Talks as a speaker, or if you want to learn more about Speak That Talks, Speak That Movement, or Tiara PR Network, please go to www.tiaraprnetwork.com. That's where you'll see future events posted. You'll also see information on the social media pages. So you can like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can subscribe to the Speak That Movement YouTube page. And also, if you're looking for something to do next Thursday, I would love for you to join the next Speak That Talks on September 24th, 8 p.m., same time, same place. I will have a special guest, Miss Shena Scott. We're going to talk about the amazing things that she's working on right now. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, August 24th, as I have another woman. I'm going to say her name because she is doing a lot of amazing things in the Dallas community and beyond. So again, thank you all for supporting Tiara PR Network and Speak That Movement. I will never, ever, ever, ever not show my appreciation for everybody who supports this effort. And to all of you out there, continue to use your voice, whether it's loud or it's silent. Use your voice however you want to use it. And also don't forget, one of the most powerful ways to use your voice is to vote. So make sure you vote. And let's bring the real change that we need to the United States of America. To all the families that were represented at the Say Their Names Memorial, we love you, we honor you, and we ask that there will not be another name, another picture on another display. Thank you all. And as always, may God bless you and protect you. Take care.